Hey, what's up, everyone? Adam here with brahwegotthis, and today we're going to go through a couple things you should do or be doing routinely before level 25. These tips are meant to help you understand the game better, set you up better later in the game, save you time later in the game, and overall just increase your enjoyment of your playthrough. We went through what you should be doing before level 15 in our other beginner series episode, and again, these are not set in stone, and you can obviously play any way that you would like, but I think that these are good guidelines to go by as a new player. Before we get started, I want to thank all the patrons. Thank you so much for all the support. If you'd like to become a patron, check out the link below in the description, and you can always watch me play live, twitch.tv/brahwegotthis, and you can join our helpful Discord. All those links are in the description, and our website, brahwegotthis.com, has a lot of beginner help and beginner-friendly content. So if you're new to this series, this is my beginner series Let's Play guide walkthrough thing. A very long name, but basically what I do is I have created a new account on the EU server, and I'm playing fresh as I would as a beginner. I'm going step by step on my processes and showing you my decisions that I make with my character. This is episode 5 of the series, and if you'd like to see the other episodes, there is a playlist in the description. And if you like this series, make sure to like, subscribe, heavy attack that bell icon to stay up to date on all the content in the channel. But basically, I just want to go through a handful of things you should try to do routinely and you should be trying to do before getting to level 25. Some of these things are things we've already touched on, but I want to reiterate them, but other ones are just things that I think are important. If you don't do these things as you go, it's just something that you have to do later in a lot of cases. So the first thing that you should always be doing, again, is leveling your mount speed, okay? That is 100% something that you should be doing. You also could do stamina or carrying capacity, but I really would focus mount speed. You want to be doing that every day on your character. It doesn't matter what level you are. Doing that to max is definitely what you want to be doing literally every day. The next thing that you want to be doing is figuring out what you want on your second bar, okay? So, for instance, you unlock a second skill bar at level 15, okay? So you've got your first skill bar here, but at level 15, you unlock a second skill bar. This is not like, wow, Final Fantasy, some of the older MMOs where you have a million skills that you have to choose, or that you have like a million skills that you can put on your bar. This is very, very simple in a lot of ways. So when you're a low level and when you're a beginner just starting out, one of the biggest things I can tell you with this is on your second bar, you can level the weapon that you're using, whether that be a two-hand, a destruction staff, whatever that is, you can level that on your second bar as well. Or if you think you're going to be interested in another skill line, so for instance, if you want to do a resto staff, you can equip a resto staff and put that on your second bar to have some self-healing and all of that good stuff too. But that is honestly up to you. But what I would say is trying to figure out what you want to try out on that second bar. So for me, I'm just using a destruction staff because I know that I want this class to be a DPS. I'm not too worried about using a resto staff. I can always level that up another time if I would like to. But again, I really would just like to get this destruction staff leveled up, so I'm equipping a destruction staff on here. We've already got the skills that we need, but what I'm going to do is just put this skill weakness to elements on here just because this is going to give us some... eventually, this is going to give us some magicka steel, which is going to be really nice for when we're low level. It just helps us with our resources. So we're going to put that on there. And if we ever do want to switch to a healer, we can, have this leveled up and we don't have to worry about that, right? But as far as the other skills go, this is a bar, again, that you can kind of just decide, okay, this is some skills I want to try out. But you also get in the routine of switching bars because that is something that is very important in this game. So sometimes I put duplicate skills. It really just depends on what I have available. For my ultimate, I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and morph this into, we're gonna just do, let's see, heals you and your allies instead of damaging them. We'll do Soul Tether. But for this ultimate, I think I'm gonna do the Deathstroke because this is something that's really good for Nightblade. Now, something that I like to do on my second bar when I'm leveling up or when I'm, creating a new character is finding out anything that is not in my core skill lines that I need to level. So, for instance, like in our guilds, I'm not really interested in leveling Silverbolt, so I don't really want that. Mage Light, I think I am actually going to put on the bar because we are a Magicka character and like to get this leveled up. This is also going to give us max Magicka increase as well from just having it on our bar once this is morphed. On Dante, I'm not too worried about this. You could use Blood Altar for a heal if you need that. Alliance War, nothing really that I'm looking for there. So really, I'm just going to put class skills now. So I'm going to put this Veiled Strike. I'm probably going to put Concealed Weapon. So we'll put that on the 5. Siphoning, we'll probably put, let's see. We'll put Teleport Strike here. And for Siphoning, we'll put something else too. We'll put just Strife as well. Just so we can level up each line evenly. And something to keep in mind too is when you're setting up your bar, you know, putting skills in similar positions are always helpful so you can get that muscle memory. So for instance, I'm going to switch this back to 2 since this is where my concealed weapon is on this bar. I'm going to switch this to 3 because 3 is a little harder for me to hit. I'll put Funnel Health at 5. And Funnel Health on this bar, it will just be acted as a leveling, like, I'm not going to be using it much on this bar. I'll just use it on the other bar. But basically, when you're trying to figure out how to set up your bar, it's important to just find things that are interesting to you. There's no rule about, like, oh, you can't play this, you can't play that. Really, if this is, like, your first character and your main account, try out multiple things and just see if you like them, because again, that will allow you to just get a feel for, like, okay, I don't like Resto Staff or I don't like Destruction Staff. But that's one of the biggest things I could say when it comes to picking your skills and how to set up your second bar. Just make sure that they are aligned to where you like them, because and where you can gain muscle memory as quick as possible, because that's going to be your best bet for that. The other thing that you need to know is that you're not going to level your skills on your second bar when you turn in a quest if it's not on that bar. So for instance, if I turn in this quest, these are the skills that are going to get leveled, okay? These right here are the skills that are going to get leveled. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing else going to get leveled except for these. These will not get leveled if you're not on that bar, okay? The next thing that you should be doing before level 25, you all, as a new player, is questing, okay? This is one of the biggest things that I would say is just, you need to be doing this, okay? You need to be questing. The reason questing is so important is it's going to give you almost like all of your skill points in a lot of ways as you level up. Obviously, you can get them through dungeons. You can get them through public dungeons. You can get them through other ways by, like, sky shards, you know, all that stuff, right? The questing in this game, it's not fetch questy. It's not go kill this, go kill that. It actually has life, in my opinion. And I know some people want to rush to endgame. I always talk about this. I talk about this probably in every single video. But questing in this game is literally so important because it is just a great way to find out if you like a class, if you like a build. It's also a great way to just enjoy the game because there's a lot of achievements involved. It's very fun, and it gives you a lot of skill points. It really does. You can quest in any zone at any time, okay? Like right now, we are in Aradon, and I'm going to work on questing up through this zone, but you can quest in any zone that you have available to you because everything is scaled, okay? So nothing is irrelevant, and some people might not like that progression, but for me, I do like that progression. And so I can't tell you enough how important questing is. And like I said in this series, I'm just going through and doing this naturally. I'm not trying to rush through this. So I'm level 19. If you are farther ahead of me, okay, you can definitely ad lib things. You can definitely like do things impromptu. You do not have to do everything that I'm doing exact. But for me, I just want you to know that that is one of my biggest things that I would tell you is important to do while you go to level 25, because it's a key component of this game and it really does add a lot to the game. So what I'm doing as I quest, I'm doing the main Aradon storyline and I'm just making my way up and doing all the side quests. This is going to give you experience. It's going to give you skill points. It's going to give you items. It's a very, very good way to progress through the game as a beginner, okay? If you rush through the game, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to burn yourself out, okay? And I get wanting to get through the game. I get it, okay? But the thing is you're not missing anything by rushing through the game. So something I'm going to be doing now is something that I like to do, like I said, is when I quest, I go zigzag throughout the whole zone here. But you'll see I've got a lot of different quests here I can do. I can do this, I can do this one, I can do this one. That's why I like to do this. I like to pick up as many quests as I can, because that way it's all grouped in a lot of like very similar areas, and it lets me knock out things very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go do some of these quests, and you'll notice that I have not done like this world boss in this public dungeon. What I like to do is, if I can, or if I'm a high level, I'll just do the world boss as I go. But since I'm a beginner, I am waiting to do that later. So usually what I do is I type in zone chat after I've done all the quests in the zone, and I say, hey, do you want to help? Does someone want to help me do these world bosses? And you do like a world boss run. It's just a really fun thing to do with other players. And as we go through this episode, I'm just going to be questing as I go, but I'm also going to talk about other things that you should be doing that are smaller things, or that things that I'm doing on the way before level 25. And another one that I've talked about a little bit is Mage's Books, okay? Picking up Mage's Books. This blue book that I just picked up, these are important, okay? These are for the Mage's Guild. I'm telling you right now, you will thank me later if you start doing this before you hit level 50. And that's why I say do it before level 25. Do this as you go. You'll see that there's no Mage's Books down here because I've collected everyone since then. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed with all the Mage's Books in one area, because what that means is once you collect one of these go away. So there's like 4 different types that you can collect right there. When you collect a certain set and complete that set, it actually gives you bonus Mage's Guild experience. But the reason we want to be doing that, y'all, is the Mage's Guild is seriously really important, and it's got a lot of skills that a lot of builds do use. And so I would just highly recommend doing this, because again, it's got some fantastic skills. So make sure you are picking up your books as you go. And if there's something that I'm not covering in this beginner series that you would like to see covered, like as I'm progressing, make sure to leave me a comment down below, because again, I'm trying to come up with topics of each episode. So I'm trying to make it a let's play fashion, but I'm trying to just have there be organization to it, to where I'm just not like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go do this. My goal is in each episode to teach you a lesson, or to teach you some useful tips that you can use as a beginner. So you may hear some things that are very similar in some episodes, but it's because I'm trying to reiterate a lot of them, because they need to be reiterated. All right, we've now completed that quest, and you can tell that the town icon has turned white. So we're going to just continue questing and doing things as we go. Okay, so as we're doing questing, like I said, we're going to go through other things that you should be doing before level 25. And one of those things is doing your daily dungeons, okay? Doing daily dungeons are going to be so helpful. Do not skip doing these. Do not be afraid to do these, okay? Because all you got to do is queue up and just leave the queue up as a DPS as you quest. This queue just took about 5 minutes, which I'm actually very surprised that it did. I'm actually really confused, to be honest, that it did, because normally when I queue as a DPS, it takes like 30, 40 minutes. But I literally just queued for this like 5 minutes ago, and we already have one. But there's nothing wrong with queuing for a dungeon and then questing while you wait, because again, it's going to just pop for you, and it'll put you back where you're at after you're done questing. Another thing that you see here is you see a quest, okay? So doing each quest in each dungeon for the first time is going to give you a skill point, which for a beginner is really nice. And as you can tell, these people are going ahead in the dungeon. It is what it is. I'm going to do the quest though, because I want to do the quest. I just talked about this in my things that you should do in the unwritten rules. But like I said, not everyone does that, but it's all good. We're just going to continually go. They're probably going to kill a lot of the things for us, but we're going to do the quest because again, I want to get the XP. The reason you should do dungeons is not just because of the XP and not because of the skill points. The reason you should do them is because it teaches you a little bit about each dungeon. It shows you like, okay, this is what you can expect from a boss like at an early level, right? But once you get in that dungeon later on in the veteran version, you'll kind of have an idea of what's going on. But if you don't touch dungeons at all, leveling up to CP 160, you're not going to know kind of what they're about. And I think a lot of people just have reservations with this because they're afraid to do it and they think that they can't do it. But I'm telling you, dungeons in this game are not that difficult on normal. They're really not too bad. They're just very good learning techniques. Now, they do get harder, obviously, but it's a great way to learn. Another reason you should be doing dungeons is because you're going to get item sets in those dungeons that you could even use as a beginner, but mainly they're going to go into your item set collection system. Your item set collection system is the sticker book that basically puts an item into it permanently for your account. So when you get to, so say you see a build online that says you should run Medusa, right? Well, we're running Arx Corneum right now, okay? And Arx Corneum will drop Medusa, okay? Medusa is a really good set for Magicka DPSs. If you get a Medusa lightning staff or a Medusa like jewelry piece, it might not be at CP 160, but what that does is it puts it into your sticker book, and that means that you can use it or remake it when you hit CP 160 for transmute crystals and crafting mats. So it's very, very useful to do these dungeons, especially now since they added the item set collection system. So definitely make sure you're doing this before level 25. Make sure you're queuing every day you log in. You want to get that daily bonus, but you can keep queuing. You don't have to stop doing it. You can just keep queuing. What we're going to do now is we have a full inventory. So we're going to sell everything that is ornate and anything that is treasure or potions. So you'll see me doing that. We're not going to sell things that I can deconstruct, but we are getting full. So we are going to go deconstruct here after we're done with this dungeon and quest. And there we go. We completed this dungeon. So we are going to sell a few things real quick since we are full on inventory. Make sure we sell things that are ornate of nature. And we also got a necklace of Medusa, which is really nice. And we completed the quest. With our XP scroll, we just hit level 21. So with that, we got a costume, which is really cool. So it's our first little kind of like fashion thing. I'm going to get this Lion Guard Knight. We also got a Flame Atronach crate. Going to put our points into Magicka since we are a Magicka DPS. And we're going to check out our next level, which we get some embroidery, dwarven oil. We'll go with embroidery since we are going to be using clothing. Now we're going to leave the group and we press X to leave now to go back to our original quest. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to finish this quest and then we will go deconstruct and kind of empty our inventory since we are pretty full on that right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and empty our inventory and do our routine. And this is going to lead me to the next thing that you should do before level 25. And that is deconstructing, researching, and leveling your crafting, okay? And making sure you do your inventory management. Now, I have a whole episode that's really dedicated on that. I'm not going to go into that, but the one thing I seriously want to mention is researching. And again, you've heard me say this multiple times, you all, and I mean, you're probably tired of it by now, but doing this daily routine is something that is going to be very helpful. So like when you're done doing quests, when you're, or when you have a full inventory from doing quests and dungeons and whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a veteran player, you should always go and deconstruct everything, okay? And research and sell things, right? So the thing that I like to do, again, is I like to go to a crafting area, whether that be the guild hall or, what have you, and I like to go to every single table and I like to do the routine. So what I'll do is I'll go here to the blacksmithing table and we're going to start researching anything that we have that we can research. So we'll research this just because, again, anything that I can research, we'll do it. So we'll go here and we'll deconstruct anything with intricate and non-researchable symbols. So that, and we have some of this stuff. So again, we'll probably look at duplicates here and see if there's anything that's a duplicate. Then I'm going to go to the clothing table and I'm going to research. So we'll go to boots. We'll research divines. That's going to be nice. The reason y'all researching again is so important is because it is going to allow us to be able to transmute items, reconstruct items. It's going to allow us to do crafting writs. It's so very, very important, you all. We're going to do two is we're going to go to the merchant and we're going to sell everything that is ornate, treasure, or trash. So we'll go to the sell icon. Now we're going to go over to the woodworking station. Got a lot of stuff for bow. So we'll just go ahead and do that one. We've already got a training bow. Let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to put some skill points into metal extraction for blacksmithing, into unraveling for clothing. And we're going to go to the jewelry crafting station and get rid of our jewelry that we do not need. So let's research what we can. So we'll just do arcane, deuce the necklace, which we will deconstruct, pewter. That's arcane, that's arcane. So we're just going to deconstruct one of them. That's robust. Okay, so we'll keep that. So we'll deconstruct these. Now what we're going to do is with the remaining items that we have, we're going to go put them in our bank. Okay, that way we can clear out as much inventory space as possible. Early on, you're going to have this happen. And so that's why I'm saying save your gold for increased inventory space, because that way you can save a lot of these researchable items. And again, you're going to get to the point where you're going to have so many researchable items because you don't have anything researched. It's okay to deconstruct some of those. You don't have to keep all of them, but just keep that in mind that as you get more and more things researched, you should keep the ones that you don't have so you don't have to go search for them or buy them, right? So we got the bank. I still have I have so many spaces in my bank. So I'm just going to deposit everything that is in my inventory right now, because all of that stuff is something that basically can be researched. And so I'm going to put all of that in my bank right now. So we'll deposit all this. We'll go to miscellaneous. Not really worried about that. And look, we have so much more space now. And then the next thing we're going to talk about, since we're working our way in questing and we're near one of these, the other thing that you want to be doing before level 25 is you want to be completing the dark anchors that are near you, okay? The dark anchors are called dolmens. They're public events, basically. And these, every time you do one of these, they're going to give you Fighters Guild experience. They're going to give you Fighters Guild experience as you do them. Fighters Guild has so many useful skills in that line and passives. So leveling your Fighters Guild is something that you're going to want to do over time. So if you skip the Dark Anchors, you're just missing out on, honestly, a good chunk of XP, and you're missing out on Fighters Guild XP. And so when you do a Dark Anchor for the first time, like this one is black, so you see that I have not completed it, it is going to give you a bonus chunk of XP. So you want to make sure you at least complete the dolmen. You want to at least complete all 3 dolmens once in each area, because you want that bonus XP. But as you see here, we're going to be getting a lot of Fighters Guild XP just from doing this. And there's no one here currently. Usually there's people doing dolmens in the zone, especially Ardon, because it's a decent dolmen farm. But you want to make sure you're doing these, okay? I'm telling you, because you're going to get good Fighters Guild XP. You're going to get good XP in general. And you're going to get good loot from it that can honestly level up your jewelry crafting, level up your other skill levels as well. So make sure that you are doing these dolmens. So as you can see, we've completed the dolmen. We've beaten the boss. Someone came here and helped us, which is really nice, because it was taking me a little bit to solo, but it was really fun actually to do it. And then we get our chest and we get a lot of loot. We get 5.2k XP, 27 Fighters Guild XP, and 60 gold. We also hit another level as well. So we're going to claim that loot and we're going to go to Magicka. The last thing that I want to tell you that you should be doing before level 25, and this was in our last episode and is the best money making method for beginners, but that is antiquities, you all. If you have not unlocked antiquities, my very first episode, we unlocked that, so you can check that out in the description. But antiquities are going to allow you to be able to make solid gold as a beginner. And these are things that you want to do as you go towards the zone. Now, if you want to take a break from these and you just don't feel like doing them, that's fine. But again, leveling this up is going to be something that you're going to just really, really want to do as you go through the zone, because this takes a little bit to level and it's honestly kind of a grind. So it's nice to be able to do these when you're able to, and like if you want to take like a break or something like that, it's just really nice to be able to do them. A lot of these things I'm telling you guys are things that I want you to try to do as you level, because if you don't, you're going to get towards the end game and you're not going to have these things leveled, and you're going to have to go back and grind them. So you might as well do that as you go, okay? That's something that I kind of learned as I played this game. But that is going to wrap up the 5th episode of the beginner series. If you guys are liking this, please remember to like the video, subscribe, heavy attack that bell icon to stay up to date on all the content in the channel. It really helps me out, and it really helps this series keep going. Let me know down in the comments again if you have any suggestions what you want to see in this beginner series, because again, I've got every episode I tried to have a theme and a lesson planned for it so you can learn something from it as we go through. But my next episode, I have something great planned that I think a lot of beginners will get a lot of help out of. But in this episode, we went from level 18 to level 22, which was really awesome. So we are making our way through the Ardon zone. We're almost halfway through the zone here, and the map is looking nice. It's getting complete, and it's really fun. But just remember, y'all, to check out our Twitch streams on twitch.tv/brahwegotthis. You can check out our Discord. You can check out our website at brahwegotthis.com. And just remember to have faith, be great, and I'll see you on the next episode.